So we're up here in Berkeley. We walked from Oakland. It was pretty awesome. It was like, I don't know, like 4.5 miles. It's a great spirit. The thing there's several things I want to most communicate that I don't believe are getting out clearly. Birthing a new culture starts with the roots. This culture is built on things that we don't question, like the Pledge of Allegiance and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, that all went to creating a system of 50% vote counts. This right here, this is consensus reality. This is 80 to 90% agreement before we even begin to say that this is ours. 51% agreement is nothing. When you have 51% agreement, you have perpetual battle. We're evolving past that. And we've got to stand up to the bullshit and keep going. We have to keep going to create dreams that work much better. And that's my primary message that I want to communicate today, is that we're birthing a new community. We're birthing a new governance. The meeting you hear in the background is a governance style without elected leaders. A governance style without elected leaders does not look like a mob. People don't repeat each other, people listen much more frequently, and we learn about each other without jockeying for position, jockeying to prove who is and who is not important. It's much more fluid, and it gives us all an opportunity to begin to just say, look, we don't even begin to trust our elected officials. We don't trust them so much, we just stopped talking to them. We stopped negotiating. We weren't protesting with demands. We're starting over. And if you want to come, please come. You can see the tiredness and desperation in how I'm talking. It's exhausting, but it's also the most inspiring dream I've ever lived for. To look, I've seen fucking a kid smashed his face into the ground, a pool of blood there. I've seen a friend who picked up Scott Olson, shot in the side so bad he was bleeding for a week. Bleeding from a beanbag. He's right here. He's right here. This is my friend who was shot in the side picking up Scott Olson.
It was a rubber bullet.
It was a rubber bullet. A rubber fucking bullet shot my friend Sean. Can you stop and think about what it is to have authorities who are supposed to protect us? Who are supposed to protect us be the biggest violence visited upon us? I faced down 3 weapons in Occupy Oakland from people who backed down when I talked to them. The cops didn't back down. They beat kid after kid after kid, and they shot someone carrying a man who was bleeding from his head. Like, how do you communicate how wrong that is? Because some people have already checked out. Just hearing this interview, some people check out. So what do you do when you look at your friend and he's bleeding on the inside and he's getting up every day crying, saying he's in so much pain? How do you answer that in America? In America? And you know what? We're white. We're white. And I'm camping down there with people who have a darker color, who have a much harder time getting their voice heard. And that's one of the first reasons we're here together. Because nobody paid attention to these fucking issues when it's just people in the ghetto. Nobody paid attention to these issues when it's just decade after decade after decade of the same thing. Does anyone know that the Black Panthers fed and housed people? Does anyone know that? No, they got the propaganda of people in afros who are going to kill them. It's total crap, because you know who's killing people down there now? You know the only people who shot people down there? Cops. And you know what happens when you ask them about it? They're sarcastic. They laugh. Often. They fucking laugh. Often. They cock their shotguns and grin. Often. So please, if you judge from afar, try to breathe long enough to question what makes people angry enough to have to be calmed down. Because underneath that you might see an incredible spirit that we're learning to channel together. And God help us, it's working. It's working.